But he also spoke about the Moody's downgrade of U.S. credit rating and did have some strong words to say about that as well, saying that the U.S. does not look like a country which can be trusted due to do the right thing. Listen in.
One thing that you do need to say is that if a rating agency downgrades a corporation's bonds, I take that very seriously because I suspect that they know a lot that I don't. When they downgrade a country, they don't know anything that anyone studying macroeconomic data and studying the fiscal situation and so on doesn't know. So in itself, I don't think the Moody's downgrade is particularly informative, except insofar as it's telling you that a lot of people out there are looking at the United States and saying, is this still the America we knew? I mean, America certainly has, we have the resources. Yes, we have a lot of debt, but we have the resources to cope with that, to pay it down. And we've coasted for a long time on the belief that eventually our political system will do the right thing. If you look at the budget bill that appears to be on track to be enacted this week, this does not look like a country that can be trusted to do the right thing. It's a bill that will blow up the deficit with tax cuts when we're already at a basically, long run unsustainable deficit, supposedly paying for that with absolutely savage cuts in aid to people in need, which are probably, even with this government, not sustainable. Millions of people who voted for Donald Trump thinking he was going to make their lives better are about to discover that they have no health care. And this just, we do not look like a serious country. And how long can we continue to coast on the belief that we will once again become a serious country when the reality is we look less serious by the day?
I'd also like to ask you about the weakening of the dollar. We've seen significant weakening against major currencies like the euro and the yuan and the yen. At the same time, higher volatility in the US bond market and stock markets. What is the trajectory, according to you, and what are the big causes for concern?
Well, I spent a lot of my career on financial crises in emerging markets. What's happening in the United States looks like a sort of very low-key, but nonetheless qualitatively similar thing. It really does look like we're getting a bit of a sell America trade, as if people are losing confidence in the United States, losing confidence in the dollar. Tariffs normally make your currency stronger because you buy fewer imports and so less demand for foreign currency. Instead, the dollar has gotten weaker. And I look and say, well, I think I've seen this movie before. Now, it's a very pale shadow of what we've seen before. The weakening of the dollar by a few percent does not look like the 80% fall in the Indonesian rupiah in 1998, but it does have, it rhymes a little bit with what we've seen before. And again, incredible that that's happening here in the United States.
On the beautiful tax bill that was set to come, as Donald Trump called it, it has been stalled for the moment, but many say that it's not completely off the hook and it may still pass the legislative process. This could increase the US debt by at least 3 trillion to 5 trillion US dollars. How do you see this tax bill that would extend the major tax cuts to different taxpayers? Who is this going to benefit, and do you think this will go through the US Congress?
I think it will go through. Actually, apparently the committee hurdle that held it up last week was crossed late last night. So this probably is going to go through, unless they're rushing it. It's kind of a bum's rush, because if the public got any wind of what's in it, it probably would fail. And the reason is not the tax cuts, not the deficits, although it is bad. It's clear, this is why Moody's downgraded, because this is highly irresponsible in terms of increased deficits. And, in the past, the United States has been able to shrug off worries about the deficit, but maybe that those days are coming to an end. But the savage cuts, I'm seeing something like 15 million people might well lose health care. A lot of people are going to lose nutrition aid. This is just an attempt to partially offset the cost of those tax cuts for the wealthy, they are going to literally ruin the lives of millions of Americans. Many of them are people who voted for Donald Trump. So if this does get enacted, expect a tremendous political backlash, because this is not, it's not just a dollars and cents. This is a massive act of cruelty.
Okay, that was an interesting conversation there. But on that note,